Hello friends, I'm Dr. Schultz, and this week's letter is from Susan B., Medford, New York, all the way from New York. Dear Dr. Schultz, I know that you don't give medical advice. Well, that's what we say. I'm not asking for advice. Thank you for making that clear. You say that any disease can be healed, and I believe you wholeheartedly. Thank you, Susan. But my husband has persistent atrial fibrillation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He's been told that only burning his heart is the only cure. That sounds a little heartburn. I do not believe this. What do you think? Can this be healed naturally? He otherwise has a perfect heart. The doctors say it's just bad luck. Wow, that sounds really scientific. I hate that answer. I am feeling a little desperate. He wants to make an appointment to have this procedure done. I appreciate it if you would answer me. Thank you, Susan. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's talk about atrial fibrillation for a minute. First of all, wow, that sounds scary. But did you know it's the most common cardiac arrhythmia there is? Okay? Almost every American male at some time or another, and almost every American adult at some time or another, has an irregular heartbeat, and often it's atrial fibrillation. Okay, millions and millions and millions of adult Americans. So your husband isn't a rare, exotic killer disease. We're talking about something that is the most common arrhythmic or irregular heartbeat that anybody gets, and everybody experiences it. So calm down, Susan. Let's start by calming down. Okay, if it's persistent, it can be serious, and it can increase your risk of stroke, and I know his doctor's already told you that. Plus, it can be debilitating because your husband's probably weak and in some pain. So let's talk about beta receptors for a minute. On your heart, there's little receptors for the nerves called beta receptors. And sometimes when your nervous system is stimulated, the overstimulation of these nerves overstimulates the beta cells, and you get irregular heartbeat. This is part of fight or flight syndrome that is a natural process of the body. It's an important process that's been built into their body. Say I'm sitting here and I'm eating my lunch and a dinosaur comes. Well, I got to run so I don't become lunch. And when I run and I get excited and I get adrenaline through my system, it sends messages through my nerve pathways to my heart to beat faster and beat stronger, to pump more blood and oxygen to the muscles I'm going to need to run so I don't become lunch. And so one of the best ways to reduce AFib is to have less adrenaline pouring. So what's the first thing that I would suggest for your husband? Well, number one, vegan. Become a vegan. Becoming a vegan, why? Because everything about being a vegan is better for your heart. The first thing it's going to do is reduces blood pressure because it puts less fat into your blood. The only source of cholesterol known, which is the main arterial blocker, the main heart circulation blocker, is animal food. Animal food, animal byproducts, dairy products, eggs, anything that came from anything with a face causes you to have blocked arteries, and then your blood pressure goes up, and this is just horrible for your heart. The second thing is we got to make sure those beta cells aren't being stimulated. Now, I already mentioned fight or flight syndrome. This is why your husband really, really, really needs to look at calming down. He's got to calm down. He's got to reduce his stress, because stress alone stimulates the nerves, stimulates the beta cells, and this is a part of his problem. Now, everything, of course, is genetic and lifestyle or environment. So I'm not saying those things weren't causes, but all these things will help. Become a vegan, get rid of his stress, calm down, and no beta cell stimulants. The doctors may already even have them on beta blockers to calm his heart down, but that means no coffee, no black tea, no hip green tea. Green tea is just fresh black tea. Black tea is just rotten green tea. Okay? Green tea, black tea, tea. Unless it's herbal tea from plants that don't contain caffeine, it's got caffeine in it. So no coffee, no green tea, no colas, no caffeine, no chocolate, no stimulants of any kind. We don't need to stimulate his beta cells any further or his beta cell receptor sites on his heart. stress reduction. Okay, now as far as herbal treatment, the heart tonic, number one. Why? Okay, I'll break it down for you. The first and major ingredient in the heart tonic is hawthorn, berries, leaf, flower. Hawthorn, when it goes into your body, coats your heart cells and protects them from any damage, any further damage. So that's why we put them on the Protect formula too, and the heart tonic, because it coats his heart cells and protects them. They can live longer with less blood, less oxygen. Protect your husband's heart today, tomorrow morning. Okay. It also contains red clover blossom, which has coumarin or coumaric acid in it. It's a blood thinner. And they've already suggested, I'm sure, blood thinners because of the increased stroke risk with AFib. So instead of the blood thinners, let's use red clover blossom. It also contains cactus grandiflorus and motherwort herb, two of the best herbs I know that correct all arrhythmias, including AFib. It contains garlic, another great blood thinner, reduces his blood pressure, thins his blood, and of course it ends up with ginger and cayenne, two great stimulants to stimulate the circulation throughout his body. Not caffeine stimulants, blood flow stimulants. And the Protect formula, get him on immediately. Double doses of everything. Okay, if he's having AFib, or atrial fibrillation 24/7. It's serious, but I'm sure we can stop it without cauterizing the beta cell receptor sites in his heart, which is probably what you're telling me they want to do. So remember, don't panic, go organic, get his food program right. You didn't talk about that. We want him becoming a vegan, double doses of heart tonic, double doses of Protect, and I'm sure you're going to be writing me on the blog in no time telling me that his AFib is gone. Oh yeah, advertising part, keep calm, get healthy. This is for your husband. Keep calm, get healthy. Secondly,